Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Akhandananda Sambodha Vandana Yasya Jayate Govindam Tamaham Vande Chidananda Tanum Gurum. So we were seeing the Shama etc. and what is Shama? Shama Ekavrityayeva Swalakshye Niyata Sthitiḥ manasaḥ. Mind being established with single focus, single pointedness in the absolute is what is called as Shama. Now, what are the different levels of Shama? Because if you want to gain something, you have to understand what are the intricacies, what are the nuances of that. So, he is explaining that now. Uttamo madhyamaścaiva jaghanya iti tridhā nirūpito vipaścidbhiḥ tattallakṣaṇavedibhiḥ. Uttamo madhyamā jaghanya iti tridhā nirūpitah vipaścidbhiḥ tattallakṣaṇavedibhiḥ. Tattallakṣaṇavedibhiḥ vipaścidbhiḥ nirūpitah. Tattallakṣaṇavedibhiḥ. That definition. Lakshana means definition. That definition. Vedibhiḥ means knowers. The knowers of those definitions. Those definitions. We are asking about Shama. Why so many? He says, vipaścidbhiḥ, by the learned ones, by the knowledgeable ones. Nirūpitah, it is established. Why are you saying as though the Shama is of multiple categories? Yes, they are of multiple categories. What are the categories then? Uttamaha, madhyamā, jaghanya ca eva iti. Tridhā. There are only three categories here. Three levels of Shama. One is a uttama, superior. Madhyamaha, mediocre. Jaghanya, inferior. Okay. So, uttama, superior, mediocre and inferior. Three levels of Shama is accepted by the people who know these definitions, who know these levels of Shama. By them it is explained. Okay. Now, svavikāraṃ parityajya vastumātratayā sthitiḥ manasaḥ sottamā śāntirbrahmanirvāṇalakṣaṇā. What are these three different levels? Once you understand, you will understand. People now think, oh, Shama, yes, I have some Shama, some mind control, yes. Once you understand this, you will understand even the inferior what we saw, that inferior level also is not there in us. We will understand that. Okay. This is not to taunt you or to pull your legs or to make fun of you. This is to make you encouraged. Like, how can making fun make encourage? Okay. You don't have. Understand that and grow. Okay. Svavikāraṃ parityajya vastumātratayā sthitiḥ manasaḥ sa uttamā śāntirbrahmanirvāṇalakṣaṇā. Manasaḥ. Svavikāraṃ parityajya. Manasaḥ, the mind. Svavikāraṃ, its vikara, its transformation. What is the transformation of mind? The thought function. Giving, tyaktvā means giving up. Giving up the thought functions of the mind. Mind giving up its transformation of becoming a thought function. We saw the mind transforms itself into a thought function. Mind does not produce thought function. And the first thought function, while discussing about the thought function, we said the first thought function is the thought function of I. Aham vritti. And the second thought function is the thought function of the viṣaya, the objects. Viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ, viṣayākara vritti or viṣayavritti. First is aham vritti or aham akara vritti. The second is viṣayavritti or viṣayākara vritti. And the third is the final vritti when you gain the knowledge of the self. Akhanda akara vritti we call it. We call it akhanda akara vritti. Absolute, thought function of the absolute. Okay, so the whole meaning, that is the final thought function. Akhandakara vritti is the final thought function. We have to understand that takes place only once. There is no repetition of akhanda. We have to repeat the akhandakara. That's all stupid ideas. We can't repeat the akhandakara vritti. It takes place once and over. Once for all, it is over. Everything is over. How? See, it is like a bomb. Okay, you drop the bomb. What happens is the bomb gets destroyed as well as the things there in that area gets destroyed. Therefore, this akhandakara vritti is like that bomb. So it destroys itself and it destroys the things around it. Okay. So he says, vastumātratayā sthitiḥ, akhandākara vritti. Okay, akhandākara vritti is the final vritti. Once that is gained, nothing exists. The first vritti is I vritti. So when you are asleep, there is no thought function. Therefore, there is no creation. When you wake up, the first vritti is I am awake. There are two vrittis there. The first vritti is I. The second vritti is awake. The moment you open your eyes, you think I am awake is the first vritti. It is not the I am awake which is the first vritti. I is the first vritti, which immediately is associated with the awake. See, the awake is sealed by this aham vritti. Then you start searching for your cell phone because you cannot live without your cell phone. The first thing you want to see in the morning is your cell phone. Earlier, we used to see in our hands the Lakshmi, goddess Saraswati, etc., Karatale, Karnamule, etc. In different places, we used to visualize different deities and then pray to the Lord Earth, the goddess Earth, and place our foot on the ground. Now, no. First thing they wake up, I am awake. That's the first thought. Second thought is, where is my glass? Third thought, where is my cell phone? Because in the early morning, he cannot see cell phone without glass. So they need cell phone. First thing, the first vishaya is cell phone vritti or the glass vritti for cell phone vritti. Okay. So then the world starts emerging, everything, the attachments and the hatreds and all that. Okay. So when the akhandākara vritti takes place, all this disappears once for all, because there is no attachment. The body does not exist. If the body does not exist, everything which is related to the body does not exist. So the world starts with the first aham vritti and ends with the final akhandākara vritti. So the world exists in between vritti. We call it drishti srishti vada. Drishti srishti vada means the seer sees, therefore the creation exists. Only when the vritti exists, there is this creation. Otherwise, there is no creation. Right? So, therefore, what we understand is, before the vritti, aham vritti, there is no creation. After the akhandākara vritti, there is no creation. In between, you see the creation. Before and after, there is no creation. In between, you see the creation. In the logic, we say, ādau antau yannāsti madhyepi tattallakṣaṇa. In the beginning and in the end, after that, it does not exist. Which does not exist in the middle also. If it does not exist before, if it does not exist later, then it does not exist in the middle also. So we say the creation does not exist. That is why we call the creation to be mithya. And that is why the opponents make pot shots and make fun and pun of our philosophy, calling mithyavadi. Mithyavadi means a person who talks about mithya, or a person who speaks mithya. Mithya means false, lie. A person who lies is also mithyavadi. A person who talks about mithya, illusion, is also mithyavadi. A person who talks lie is also mithyavadi. People, the opponents, they say we are mithyavadis. We Vedantins are mithyavadis. We Vedantins are not mithyavadis. We don't speak about mithya. We don't establish mithya. We establish Brahman. We are Brahmavadin. Remember that. We are not mithyavadis. We are Brahmavadis. We establish Brahman, not mithya. We don't establish mithya, in fact. We see that mithya exists, that's all. So he says, svavikāraṃ. So before and after that, there is no creation. Therefore, the in between, the creation does not exist. Therefore, vritti is the creation. Without vritti, there is no creation. That is the logical conclusion. Right? So he says, svavikāraṃ parityajya, manasaḥ, mind giving up its transformation of becoming the thought function. So vikāraṃ, one's own transformation. Vikāraṃ means transformation. Vastumātratayā sthitiḥ. Sthitiḥ, existence. Vastumātratayā, as the object itself, as the self itself. Vastu here is self, not the object. The Mind, after giving up all the transformations, staying as the, remaining as the self. Meaning what? The mind does not grasp the self, but the mind becomes the self. Mind dissolves in the self. Mind gets annihilated in the self. There is no mind actually there. There is only self. That is called as uttama sthitiḥ, uttama śāntiḥ. That is called as uttama śāntiḥ. We are talking about shama, and now he is using another word, shanti, not shama. Remember, when we said samadhana, we said samadhi. Samadhana means samadhi. Similarly, shama means shanti. Shama and shanti are synonyms. Samadhana and samadhi are synonyms. Similarly, shama and shanti are synonyms. Shanti. You have to remember that. Shanti means absolute. Every word means absolute. Oh, shanti means absolute. No. Every word refers to absolute. There is no other thing. There is no other meaning for any other word. Whichever word, pot, that also refers to absolute. But we call this pravritti nimittaka bheda. Pravritti nimittaka bheda means the duality during the transaction. We accept the duality during the transaction for the sake of transaction. Therefore, it is gaining different meanings. Otherwise, everything refers only to the Brahman. Everything implies only the Brahman. The implied meaning is Brahman for all the words. Pot, cloth, anything. The implied meaning is Brahman. Okay. Now, Shanti means Shama. And Shama, Shanti means Brahman. Uttama Shanti means Brahman. Staying put in Brahman is Uttama Shanti. Now, you have to remember. See, when I was new to Rishikesh, there is an ashram called Kailas Ashram. So from the place where I stayed, there is this Mahatma, young, I was young, and that person was also young. I was 25 and probably he was 30 maybe, okay. So then he left Rishikesh, he went somewhere, and then he went to a place called Tani up in the hills and stayed alone there, like me now. And the difference is he is no more now. What happened is lightning fell on him and he died. Anyway, the point is he was there. He didn't know any other language other than Tamil. And I could manage some Hindi and I knew English also, right? So he said, okay, please take me to, let us go to Kailas Ashram. You also have not been, so I have not been. Let us go there. I said, okay. So we went to Kailas Ashram. In Kailas Ashram, we met this Swami called Ramananand Giri, an old person he was. So he wanted to meet, so we went there. So we heard about him there and we went there to meet him. Very old person he was. He was there in the same place as Raman Maharshi. Next to him, he stayed. And after Ramana Maharshi's Samadhi, he left Tamil Nadu. He went to Rishikesh and stayed there. He asked, why did you come here? I was a naive boy, so I said, for liberation, moksha. He asked him, why did you come here? He said, for Shanti. I came for Shanti. Remember this, Shanti is a very common name in India. In any school, especially in Tamil Nadu, if you go to any school, at least you will find one girl who is called Shanti in that class. You cannot miss one Shanti there. Everywhere you will find Shanti, some Shanti or other Shanti. Okay. Now, he is saying, I came for Shanti. What is this? Shanti also means peace. He came for peace. So what is this question? Is he so disturbed he wants peace? I was like shocked because he is a very good sadhu. He is very good sadhaka. He is a very good practitioner, seeker. So what is this answer? Then later when I started studying Shastras, I understood what he said is right. Shanti is absolute. Shanti is sukha. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Ashantasya sukhuto sukham. Where is happiness, bliss for one who is troubled, one who is disturbed, one who is not at peace. Right? So, Śāntir. And that Shanti is absolute. How do you know this? It says Brahmanirvāṇalakṣaṇā. Lakṣana means definition of the nature of Brahma Nirvana, gaining the Brahman absolute state. Nirvana means liberation. Nirvana in Tamil means nude. But nirvana here is in the sense of nude, in the sense of, yeah, okay, you can understand that way also. You are nude. Nude means you are not associated with anything, any attribute, not cloth, not this dress of body. Because this body is also treated as dress by Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita. Like you throw the dilapidated cloth and take a new cloth, like that you give up the old body and take a new body. That's what he says. Vasamsi jirnani yathāvihāya navāni grunhāti navi. So vasamsi jirnani yathāvihāya navāni grunhāti. So like you throw the old cloth and take up a new cloth, you give up this. So this also is a cloth. Devoid of this cloth is nirvana, nude. Being nude means. So Brahma Nirvana, being established, to make it clear, Brahma Nirvana, nude in being Brahman alone. Meaning being the Brahman alone without any attributes is what is Brahma Nirvana. Okay. So that form is what is called as uttama shanti. Being established in Brahman is called as uttama shanti. Okay. Now, pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ dhiyaḥ yadeṣā madhyamā śuddhasattvaikalakṣaṇā. So the next shanti is madhyamā shanti, the mediocre shanti, shama. So he says, pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ dhiyaḥ yadeṣā madhyamā shanti. śuddhasattvaikalakṣaṇā. Dhiyaḥ pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ. Dhiyaḥ means buddhi, intellect. We are talking about the mind or intellect. See, whether you say manas or you say buddhi, you are referring to the same thing in different states. That's all. If it is turbulent, it is called as mind. If it is determined, it is called as intellect. The same thing, when it is turbulent, disturbed, it is called as mind. When it is determined, it is called as buddhi. We call it sankalpa vikalpātmako manaso lakshanam and adhyavasaya buddhi dharmaha. What is buddhi? Adhyavasaya, determination. What is manas? Sankalpa vikalpātmaka, meaning like this or like that. There is choice and all that. So, dhiyaḥ, the mind, pratyakpratyaya. Pratyak means individual self. Pratyaya means knowledge. Individual self, we call it, we'll normally refer to it as atma. The absolute self, we call it as Brahman. Oh, there is then atma and there is Brahman. Therefore, there are two selves, right? No. We later tell that atma brahmaiva. The atma is Brahman alone. There is no difference between atma and Brahman. For the convenience sake, for you to understand, we are talking about yourself. For you to understand like that, we say pratyak atma. Pratyak pratyaya. The pratyaya means knowledge. The knowledge of the individual self. The knowledge of the individual self, atma, and santana pravāhakaraṇaṃ. Santana means flow. Pravaha means flow. Santana means generations. Meaning the continuously, santana means continuous. Continuous flow of the pravāhakaraṇaṃ means having, creating it. Having the continuous flow of the thought regarding the individual self, the atma. Fixing the mind in the atma, that's what it is. Fixing the mind in atma, not letting it go to anything else. We saw yesterday, Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Shivam Dubhe, Shivam this, that, etc. Right? Not like that. So that is what is called as a yad, which this is a yadeṣā śuddhasattvaikalakṣaṇā madhyamā shanti. This is madhyamā shanti, which is of the nature of śuddhasattvaikalakṣaṇā, which is of the nature of a lakshana means nature, which is of the nature of śuddhasattvaika. It is only of the nature of a pure sattva. Śuddhasattva means normally in other places we call it chitta shuddhi, pure heart. Here, śuddhasattva means sattva guna without association with the other gunas. The creation is of three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. So, whichever is predominant according to you have the experiences. Now, we are talking about the predominant sattva guna without any association with a very minimal, very minimal association with the tamo and rajo gunas. So that is what is called as śuddhasattva. Śuddhasattva means pure sattva. Okay, your mind, which is of the nature of pure sattva, which is associated in the, which has the continuous flow of the knowledge of the self, is what is called as a madhyamā shanti. This is the nididhyasana state. The previous state, uttama shanti, is the state of liberation, realization. This state is the state of meditation, nididhyasana. Now, the third one, adhama shanti. For that he says, viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ tyaktvā śravaṇaikamanassthitiḥ manasaścetarā śāntirmiśrasattvaikalakṣaṇā. viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ tyaktvā śravaṇaikamanassthitiḥ manasaścetarā śāntirmiśrasattvaikalakṣaṇā. viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ tyaktvā, giving up what? viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ, association with the objects, going towards the object, transaction with the objects, giving that śravaṇaikamanassthitiḥ, only the śravana, the mind being established only in the śravana, means also mana. Because while doing śravana, you cannot do listening alone. You always process it. While listening, you also process it. That's why you start questioning regarding whatever you heard immediately. So there is a śravana, during which there is manana also. So that is what is called as when your mind is processing and you are listening, during that state where you are giving up the association with all the other thought functions, all the thought functions of the world, but you are focused on the listening. That is itara shanti, the other kind of shanti, which is the third shanti, which is adhama shanti. He does not want to give the name adhama here, so he says itara shanti. Because he is entering the śravana, he is already in śravana, and you are calling him as a inferior fellow. So it's not a good thing. So itara shanti. See, I keep repeating from the beginning and in other places also that for going through śravana, for listening to shastra, you have to have a lot of punya. Without punya, you will not even be able to listen to shastra. Shrinvannopi yo vahubir no labhya. Mahatma Yamadharmaraja Acharya in Kathopanishad tells Nachiketa, even for listening, this is not available for many people. This is not available for many people. See, like say, yesterday was 23/11, right? 23/11 was the day in 2011. In 2011, on 23rd, 11th month, I started this channel. And now we are 11 years old. And how many of subscribers we have? Not even 4,000. And we have almost everything a person needs to understand the self. Everything. From basic Sanskrit grammar to advanced lectures. Everything. And we have only 4,000, not even 4,000 subscribers. And how many of them listen in that among 4,000? People just say, okay, I'll subscribe, I'll listen to him. He's teaching very nicely. I listen to him. They comment also. You are a very good teacher and all that. And they'll click it. And then later, tomorrow. Because there are so many other YouTube channels which come, attract new song, new dance, new something. We see a song or a dance or a joke or a news or something, 1 hour or 1 day, lakh views. So many people see it. And here, 40, not even 4,000. 40 people, not even 400. 40 people. And among them, not everyone is going to listen to the whole of lecture. Some people may come back again and again. So I don't know if it is going to be or using different machines. They are going to be registered as a different person. So 30. And among the 30, only 10 are going to listen properly. Maybe. So, Shrinvannopi bahubhiryo na labhya. Even for listening, this is not available for many people. Listening itself is requires a great punya. Wait, but You say listen to Shastra. What happened to that person? What happened to this person? He was listening to Shastra. That Swamiji also was listening to Shastra. What happened to him? Don't go there. Because that person, that Swami who was listening to Shastra, he listened to Shastra and he was, see, Shastra, listening to Shastra is like a sadhana. Keep repeating this again and again. Listening to Shastra is like a sadhana, like any sadhana, like japa, etc. When you do japa, you do sankalpa, you have a will, you have a intention. That intention is what is the result. Now you say, if you have intention for money, you will gain money. If you have intention for wealth, knowledge, you will gain knowledge. If you have intention for something else, you will gain that. But what do you intend to get through this japa? I want knowledge, but I want money. Inside you are going to say, I want money. But outside you are going to say, I want knowledge. So similarly, these people, they come and they want knowledge. But we saw, there is here Mishra Sattva, mixed Sattva. The Sattva is associated with Tamoguna and Rajoguna. That attracts them. And in the background, though they want knowledge, in the background, their desire is more pronounced for things of the world. So they gain attracted to that, and they become attached to that, and they fall from the path. So it is not the Shastra mistake, it is your mistake. So take this as a challenge. Why do you look at others? Look at yourself. You take it as a challenge and you gain the knowledge. Who is going to stop you? If you have the pure desire for self, you will gain that self. There is no question regarding that. So he says, Śravaṇaikamanassthitiḥ. That is Mishra Sattva. Mishra in North India is a surname. Okay, Mishra is a Brahmin surname. So, like in India, we have in Tamil, in South India, we have Ayyar, Iyengar, etc. That's a surname for Brahmins. So in North India, there is Sharma, there is Mishra, there is this Dubey, etc. So Mishra is a surname, but this Mishra is mixed Sattva. Sattva guna in association with the Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And that is why during the Shravana, that when if that idea becomes pronounced, that desire becomes pronounced, it is going to get that. They are going to gain that result, not the knowledge. So manasaścetarā, that is what is the third Shanti, which is because of the nature of the mind being associated with all the three gunas. Though the Sattva guna is pronounced, it is also associated with the other gunas. We don't know when they will take the parties, political parties, they'll create a combination and they'll make a coup of this Sattva. It's possible. So, viṣayavyāpṛtiṃ tattva. So, you have to give the attachment to the association with the Vishaya. Very good. So, these are these three states of the mind, the Shanti. Okay. How to gain this? Now, I understood what are the three different states of superior, mediocre, and inferior. How do I gain this? Even at least the inferior level, at least first. So, he says, pratyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve. Śyamasidyati nānyathā tīvrā viraktiḥ prācyāṅgam udīcyāṅgam damadayah. 100 shloka. He says, pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ śamaḥ sidhyati nānyathā tīvrā viraktiḥ prācyāṅgam udīcyāṅgam damadayah. See, first we have to understand two things. Anga, angi. Anga means limb and angi means limbed. Angi means that which has limb. Okay, limbed. So, anga and angi. Two things. Then, pracyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve. Second thing is pracyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve. Pracyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve means east-west. Now, here, for all purpose, pracyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve means in the front and in the back. Okay, before and after, front and back. Okay, then the third thing which we have to remember here is to understand this shloka is logic. There are two logics which are used. If we are going to use these two logic in one place, if you are going to show this two logic in one place, then that logic becomes a very strong logic. This logic is called as a Anvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya means coexistence. Vyatireka means co-absence. Okay. Now, coexistence and coabsence. Tat sattve tat sattvam is definition for anvaya. If it exists, that exists. Vyatireka, co-absence means tat abhave, tad abhava. If this does not exist, that does not exist. So, if you are going to explain something using these two, coexistence and coabsence, if this exists, that exists. If this does not exist, that does not exist. Then that logic is a very strong logic. So, he is showing you that logic. Pracyodīcyāṅgasadbhāve, when the limbs which needs to be there before and after, like for the body, the fingers, hand, etc. are limbs. Like for the self, the body is the limb. Body is the limb. Okay. So similarly, pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ, before and after, these limbs needs to exist. If they exist, śamaḥ sidhyati, you gain the śamaḥ, equanimity, tranquility. Nānyathā, not otherwise. If they don't exist, you don't get the śamaḥ. What is prachi and what is udīci? What is that which needs to be before and what is that which needs to be after the śamaḥ? So he says in the front, before, tīvrā viraktiḥ pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ. That which needs to exist before is a tīvrā viraktiḥ, not just virakti, tīvrā viraktiḥ, a very strong dispassion. Very strong dispassion. Without that, there is no possibility of śamaḥ, mind control, equanimity, tranquility. You have to understand. See, there is no cause-effect relationship, but everything is linked as a limb. See, for śamaḥ, virakti, vairagya is limb, and dhamma is the limb. Okay. For vairagya, we saw viveka is the limb. We said, without viveka, vairagya is not stronger. Without vairagya, viveka is also not stronger. So, there is no cause-effect relationship, but there is a association there. Okay. So, that is what he says. Tīvrā viraktiḥ pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ. So, the limb which needs to exist before is a tīvrā viraktiḥ, strong dispassion. And what needs to be after this other limb is a dhamma, etc. The dhamma, uprati, etc. The sense organ control, etc. All those need to be existent. So, for this śamaḥ, vairagya needs to exist and dhamma, etc. needs to exist. For dhamma, śamaḥ, etc. needs to exist and uprati, etc. needs to exist. For each one of them, the other is important. If they don't exist, you will not have a strong śamaḥ or dhamma, etc. Okay, so that is what he said. So, tīvrā viraktiḥ pratyakpratyayasantānapravāhakaraṇaṃ dhamādayah, a strong dispassion and a strong dhamma, etc. needs to be there for the śamaḥ, śānti to be very strong. We'll see this. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om śāntiḥ śāntiḥ śāntiḥ.